This is kind of an update on my 1377 highly modified now carbine. One of the first things I did was to put a backpacker pump handle on it so that I could mount a piece of Picatinny rail on the bottom, which allowed me to mount a bipod. I also had a 14.5-inch barrel cut and put on with a fake suppressor. And that right there is a Chinese D-ball. It has green and infrared, which is just enough. I don't need the infrared illuminator. That's a bug buster scope that I had, which works really well. Tipman paintball stock with a piece of rubber that holds extra pellets, one on each side. The problem with the Tipman stocks is this piece right here. A lot of people sell these and they're made out of aluminum. And when you screw them in to the gun, the threads will eventually strip. I've gone through 6 of them so far. I'd love to have one made out of steel, but I know the machining costs would be outrageous. Another thing I did to the gun was I bought 4 actually, steel breeches. I cut them down and mounted them on the barrel. 1, 2, 3, and the one with the actual working breech. It has a long extension probe on it. But the reason for putting the breeches on, the cut down breeches, was to give myself some more rail to mount things on. It gives you that pellet gun type rail. It's not a Picatinny, it's a, I forget the dimensions of it. I also put a steel barrel band on it that I got from HPA Sports, I think. Another thing I did to the gun was to put a small automotive LED light so that when I push it with the remote switch, I can see the breech because it's kind of hard to get a pellet in there. So with that light, I can clearly see whether the pellet's in correctly or not. This switch down here runs either the infrared or the green laser. And the thing about it is, once you get the green laser co-witness to your scope, all you have to do is go in the dark and you can co-witness the infrared laser to the green laser. Now I mounted a little piece of Picatinny rail back here so that I could take this. This is a National Geographic night owl monocular. I mounted a piece of Picatinny on the bottom of it, and this just clips. Excuse me for a second. Right on there. Kind of a strange place, but it actually works. So when you're looking through the night owl, you see that infrared dot, and wherever that is, as long as it's co-witness to the scope and the green laser, you'll hit your mark. I've made headshots out to 30 yards in pitch blackness with it. Another thing I did was Sorry, I got my finger over the lens. Another thing I did was to make out of a piece of PVC tubing and an old camera mount. I made a camera adapter so I can stick my iPhone on there and record whatever I'm doing. I spent a lot of money on the gun, but it's pretty accurate. 30-yard headshots with a 177 pellet gun is not so bad. The only problem with it is this piece right here. I wish they made that out of steel. Aluminum just doesn't do the trick. They strip out after a while. What I did was, once the holes were all stripped out in this, I drilled a hole into the back plug of the air chamber, threaded it, and then put a bolt through this piece right into the steel back plug, and then mounted this Tippmann stock onto that. And so far it's been pretty good. It works pretty good. I certainly would much rather have a steel adapter on there, but for the time being it works. You understand what I'm saying? You just drill a hole in the end plug of the air chamber, thread it, put a bolt and a washer through this piece here, and screw it right into the end plug of the gun. And it works pretty well. I can't complain. So that's my 1377. I'd like to do the same thing in .22 caliber. We'll see what happens. Over and out.